Dimitri Vadesca, the Unmaker, who went from occult Crusader to apocalyptic Dark Lord. I've made several videos on my ancestors' writings about him, and in these new documents, I've uncovered even more. His family were generations deep in occult demon worship, continuing through Dimitri's father who died and destroyed their home botching an arcane ritual. Dimitri was taken into a church orphanage and raised with other children like himself. On his 15th birthday, he received a mysterious package, somehow containing his father's books. He locked them away and became a knight, eventually going as far as the First Crusade. But as the conflict worsened, he turned to those arcane tomes, even working face to face with demonic entities, to empower his soldiers, especially his oldest friend Raphael Caron. According to the writings of my ancestors, who were members of the order that stood against him, as the Crusades raged on, battles getting bloodier and bloodier, Dimitri's men maintained an unequal prowess and strength, thanks to his continued use of occult magics and dealings with demonic entities. He thought himself a genius, using the deaths of his enemies as his trade to balance these spells, but those entities haunted him, warning such an arrangement could not stand forever, demanding personal sacrifice, which came as the passing of his beloved wife in childbirth. Broken and alone, he delved deeper into the darkness, eventually making himself into a vampire to stand immortal and learn all of God's secrets, in the hopes of undoing them. His own magic works on his greatest friend would be his end. Raphael Caron, Dimitri's oldest friend. Years of Vadesca's occult meddling had forged Caron into something beyond human. Vadesca's work had been done without his knowledge or approval. Fearing Dimitri's descent, he contacted a paladin ally of the magical holy order that dated to Charlemagne, with an offer, together with various groups of monster hunters, the church's backing, their exorcists and infantry. They became the Sons of Men, the largest monster hunting order in history, with a stated mission of ridding the world of supernatural predators. Their main enemy was Vadesca, the Unmaker who worked to undo all creation. In 1531 they finally succeeded in slaying him, led by Caron, now a recurring secret church weapon, still alive and empowered by Vadesca's own hand. After the deaths of his wife and son in childbirth, Dimitri secluded himself in rage-fueled study, where according to the writings on him, his father's spirit tried to overtake his body, and for the first time in generations, he failed, furiously blaming God for his misfortunes, claiming all acts to have been in his service. Dimitri plunged into every dark or magical art known to the earth, no sorcery too profane, nor teacher too insidious. After centuries of this living hell, he achieved his goal. He was able to reconstruct the bodies, minds, and souls of his wife and son. But it was too late. The Sons of Man had risen to strength enough to finally end him. In their greatest ever siege, they pulled his castle down brick by brick, sending him and his unholy acolytes to hell, where he would only become even more dangerous. Dimitri's time in hell forged him into something unique. The botched ritual that killed his father may not have been a failure after all. His books tell of a sacred Vadesca family rite to summon a lord of chaos and terror. In 1814 Dimitri burst up out of hell, very much fitting that description, with a small army of demons that wreaked havoc across the unfortunate souls in their path. According to my ancestors' writings, this is when they became personally involved. A member of the Sons of Man, my fifth great-grandfather Theobald Oldrey, was a high-ranking paladin. His son Reinhold had just become one of the ancient order as well, along with the church's greatest exorcist. The three infiltrated Vadesca's stronghold and managed to return him to hell. But he would find other ways back, pledging vengeance on the bloodline that thwarted his return. Dimitri, now hopelessly warped by hell and his own hand, next targeted the heir of the Oldrey family, Harold, who had lost the paladin power of his forefathers and become a hunter. In truth, his life seemed tailored towards preparing him for this confrontation. Having fought against demons, occult devil worshippers, monstrous shape-shifters, diabolical witches, and many more supposedly mythical creatures. Even more, after leaving the Sons of Man order, he forged his own network of different types of hunters and paladins he trusted, as well as those not accepted by the Sons of Man like witches, and through them the Fae, and various scientific geniuses, fostering the newest incarnation of good to stand against evil. Harold's final journal entry speaks of Vadesca's return, and his march to stop him hopefully for good.